Senior Advisor at U.S. Customs and Border Protection. That man right there, Ron Vitiello. Ron, nice to have you. Always
great
nice
to be
see
here.
you, sir.
Thanks for inviting me.
So tell me, obviously a lot of focus on what's happened in the first 100 days. Tell me on what success looks like going forward, because I see at the southwest border, encounters down 95, 97, whatever the number is, a lot down at the southern border. But I also look at deportations by presidents. Trump 2.0 on pace for 2 million deportations. That is well short of other presidents. Again, it's on pace at 2 months in. Why is that the case, and what does success look like in your view?
Success is sustaining everything that we're doing on the border, right? So adding technology, adding agents, more access to the border, more border wall. There's 85 miles in the pipeline since Inauguration Day, 77 miles of barrier already down. So the encounters are down. That gives you almost 100% increase in capability at the line. So going forward, having those things in a more permanent way, sustainable over time.
Are the deportation numbers where the administration wants them to be? Or would you say that it needs to move up?
They are very good. They're doing all that they can.
Very good.
But let's not remember, we want it to be great.
Okay.
And so what has to happen is it has to be scaled up. We are still working on a budget and a foundation for the budget that was built by Joe Biden. We're using Donald Trump's priorities to activate at the border and in the interior. That information, and both of them have to be scaled up. It has to be sustained. And so that requires an additional investment, right? That means resources. And so phase two, you scale these operations up. We go from good to great.
So that's the building behind us, right? And if Congress can deliver on, I think it's maybe like $100 billion or something of funding, if they give you that money, if they give the administration that money, you say that sort of takes you to the next level of enforcement?
That allows us to stabilize what's happening at the border, investments in technology, access, more boots on the ground, sustain what we're doing and continue. And then in the interior, they can scale up the requirements for detention and the at-large arrests.
Stephen Miller on the North Lawn today, I thought was asked a fantastic question. It was one that caught my attention, and it was basically, has Mexico done enough? Simple question, but here was his response. I want to get your reaction on the other side.
Thanks to President Trump's leadership, the Mexican government has done more than it's ever done, but it's still not even close to what we need and what the president expects. There's much more that we expect from Mexico, particularly in regard to the fentanyl.
Explain what has happened with Mexico that you're satisfied with, and where do you align with Stephen Miller there, in which the administration feels you're going to push them elsewhere?
Well, we absolutely want all the help that Mexico has been giving us, but I'm an operator, and Stephen knows this very well as well. They can always do more. Everyone can always do more. We can do more.
Like what?
Well, they can sustain what they're doing. They can engage in a real partnership that says, if we're going to share the responsibility for this border, they're going to do as much as we're going to do it. So continuing the military-to-military relationship, continuing their deployments, and then having a regulation at their southern border, which would be much easier operationally to control than the northern border with us and them. So they have to continue. They have to continue to lean in. More joint prosecutions for both immigration crimes and drug smuggling at the border.
Okay.
More, like I said, more leaning in operationally so that we know what's happening, more exchange of intelligence. They sent 29 wanted criminals into the United States, extradition, so that more things like that we can do together.
There has been a question of whether or not drones into Mexico is on the table or not. Ali Bradley asked this to J.D. Vance. I asked this to Stephen Miller as well in the first 100 days. Here's what they said, and again, we'll turn to it on the other side.
Since the designation of the cartels as terrorists, does that give the United States the green light to go into Mexico and to strike them there?
What designating cartel organizations allows us to do is deploy the full resources of the United States military to engage in serious border enforcement.
We use drones to drone the Houthis, which are foreign terrorist organizations. Is it under discussion for doing the same with the Mexican cartels?
I'm not going to make any news here today on that. I will just reassure you that the president will do what is necessary to keep America and Americans safe.
The White House has been hands-off on this. Is it a possibility at some point down the line? It's the same question for Stephen. If we use drones at the Houthis, which is a foreign terrorist organization, why not the cartels?
We have an unprecedented relationship right now with Mexico. They've leaned in. 10,000 of their National Guard troops are on their northern border, our southern border.
Okay.
The military-to-military relationship, they are doing things I've never seen them do before. Kinetic strikes or those kinds of things, that's a policy decision that's yet to be made.
Yet to be made.
As long as they are helping us accomplish what we need to do for the safety and security of the border and America at large, and then we can reduce the capability of these cartels, it will be much faster to do that with their help.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Ron Vitiello, Senior Advisor, Customs and Border Protection. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.